Addison. All right, Abby W. back there. Wait, she should. Alex Berger, Ava, Damien, Eliana, Emily Connor, Gavin, Jeff, Jenna, Lucas, Mason, Maya, Noel, no, Ryan, Taryn. Who's the Creative Lights student? Somebody put that down. Yes. All right, so one thing I want you to do, so if you're not signed up, you go down here to remind. And you can get out your phone at this point if you're not signed up. Algebra 1 students, you're going to text. That'll be the number you're texting to, 81010. You're going to hit @Algebra1 DLAP. Okay, if you did not get my remind last night, do that now. Okay, I think you're signed up. Taryn, like I said, these are the people. Abby W., Addison, Alex Berger, Ava, Amy Burnett, Eliana, Emily Connor, Ethan Harvey, which I don't know who that is, Gavin Williams, Jeff Wenham, Jenna Reynolds, Lucas Gardner, Mason Harris, Maya Hanlon, Noel Ellison, she did the class, Ryan G, Taryn Dreisbach, is that right? And then the Creative Lights. All right, so, all right, Maddie, you get signed up?
Yep.
Zach?
Yep.
Who else is missing? Lindsay, you get signed up?
Yep.
Juan, you get signed up? No. Diana? All right, get signed up. All right, don't put it away yet, because here's what I need you to do. As well, go back to okay, on the agenda, you see where it says textbook record form. You want to open that up. You should have a textbook record form. Now, I don't think, Juan, you are on here because you joined a little bit late, but you should find your name and you need to put the book number. Say whatever your book number is. Zach, get out your book number. You're gonna be my guinea pig. And the book number is going to be on the bottom or the top of your book, and it should start with 21 dash. What's yours, Zach?
21-266.
So his is 21-266, and it is new, so put a little X where it's under new. All of them are new. So type in your book number. Juan, let's go ahead and put your... Oh, you're down there. Good. And then put that in. So type in whichever your book number is, and then you got to fill that in. I know we got to fix a couple of your book covers. I know I got to do that. Hopefully I can get to maybe a couple of them today. I just have to do. If anybody can come in early, like before school, just for 10 minutes, I can get it. Help you there. That would be great. And if you got any free time, like if you got a 5th period mentoring, let me know. I could probably help you then too. Yes. What church? Grace Presbyterian. Brought that.
No, I just remember that your son is going to Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, you got your book? What are you doing?
Putting math on the card.
Are you going to put in your number?
Yeah.
I know that math on the front is really important. Ryan Mason. Matt, you got your book?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. And then Jenna doesn't have one yet. Reese, you got your book? You got your book number? Juan, you got your book?
I had it. I'm trying to figure out where to get
All right, make sure you get that. All right, so good. We're going to finish that. And let's see here. All right, Manny McGuire joined. Rylan Stair, Juan Bossy. Good. Zach, you said you joined?
Yep.
All right, let's see who shows up. Anybody else missing? For that one. Just waiting for me to keep you up to date on things. Okay. All right, let's go over this warm up here. And let's see, is that working over there? Yep. And we are going to finish up section 1, 2 today. Review a little bit tomorrow, and then we will have a quiz on Wednesday. Okay, 40 points at this point, I believe. Now, I definitely want to go over number 2 because I think a few of you had some issues with that. But number 1, all right, number 1, do you think Jeff, you think you know how to do it?
Hey.
All right, tell me how.
Would you start by subtracting 12?
Yes, we would subtract 12. Now, and I told a lot of you this. Here's the biggest thing on your homework. Anytime you add or subtract something to both sides, I want that line all the way under. That is like, that goes back to when you started adding numbers together. You do 12 plus 22, and you draw that line underneath. That tells me you're summing. Either summing, which means adding or subtracting. So you are telling me something with that. Jeff, what does that give us?
-1.
-1 equals what?
Would you do 1 divided by -1? No, -1 divided by 1.
Well, not yet. Just tell me what to write.
Equals negative q.
Equals -q. Now, if you want to put a 1 in front of there, that's absolutely fine. But now, yes, you do need to do one more step, which is what?
-1 divided by -1.
Okay. And what is that?
-1. No, 0.
Nope. Nope. Zach's going to help you out.
+1.
+1. Negative divided by negative is positive. And then I'm going to put q equals 1 first. Q equals 1. Or I'm going to write that as my final answer. All right, now number 2. Fractions. Yes, they can give you issues. But let's go over how to do these because you will see them. H plus 6 over 4 equals -7. To solve that one, Lucas, do you know what to do?
I got that one wrong.
Got that one wrong. Can I ask you what your first step was?
Well, I erased it, but what I did first was I multiplied 4.
All right, and that's what you want to do. All right, so he's telling me the right step. You got the entire numerator divided by 4. But here's what happens when we multiply by 4 for this problem here. Since this is all over 4, those just cancel and leave me what on that left-hand side? Okay, leave me what?
0.
Now this is like a whole, what's that?
H plus 6.
Yes, thank you. It leaves you just the numerator, h plus 6. The numerator is the top part. Those cancel, and they leave you h plus 6. Now, -7 times 4 is -28. So a lot of times, like you want to some people multiply the 4 times those. You don't have to. They just cancel. You're done. Now, once I have this, subtract 6, and I get h equals, that should be -34. Okay, when you're done, make sure you get -34. And we're good there. All right, Damien, you think you know how to do number 3?
I was actually rewriting too. I didn't do that right.
Did you start 3 at all?
Oh yeah, I got 3.
You got 3?
Yeah.
All right, what's my first step?
You distribute the -6.
What's that give me?
Gives you be -8. 18,
Okay.
and then negative 6x.
Okay. Good.
Then you need to put down the plus and then distribute the 4, which would give you 4x and negative 24.
All right. Take a look at your work. That's perfect. Good job, Damien. All right. Now, here's the key step. Once you get to this point, we don't move anything left or right until we combine any like terms. So you take a look at that right-hand side. I got a bunch of like terms. I got 2 things with x's and I got 2 constants. Zach, do you know what would you have down next?
I did negative 6x plus 4x.
Go ahead and tell me whatever, just to write down and I'll evaluate it. What do you have written down?
I wrote down negative 6x plus 4x equals negative 2.
Let me see what you got. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just curious how you wrote it.
No, I can see it right now. Yeah, just read that.
Oh, 2x.
Now, where's the negative 15? Yeah.
Watch how I do this one. All right. Negative 6 minus or plus 4 is negative 2x. You want that. Now, negative 18 minus 24, what does that give us? That gives us minus 42, negative 42. You need to have that. I have not moved anything left or right. But you just combine like terms. Do that at this point. Now, when you move a term, Ava, what should I do here?
Add 42 to 42 with negative 15.
Good. Put the plus 42 right underneath the minus 42. Put it right over underneath the negative 15. Again, that line goes straight across. I haven't used it yet because I haven't moved anything left or right. 42 minus 15 or negative 15 plus 42 should be what? 27 equals negative 2x. Divide by negative 2. It's okay to get a decimal. I get negative 13.5 equals x, and I'm just going to rearrange it. I get that. Got it?
I have a question
Sure.
about number 2. Okay.
I have a question about what I did. I don't know what I did.
All right, I'll take a look at it. Anything else? All right, homework-wise, you went through the answers. There is a couple I just want to talk about.
Yeah, you can subtract 6. Yeah. Here's the difference. If it was plus 6 equals negative 7. So this is different. That means you have to add those first and then divide. So we got these units multiply first, and then we need to
Subtract second. Hey, you are allowed to use your calculators. If these are in fractions, you want to probably keep your work in fractions. 7/10 minus 1/2. I got it on your paper. You got to just do that. Use your, you know where the fraction button is?
I was confused on the fraction ones.
All right, calculators out. Where's your fraction button? I think I assumed too much. I want to make sure you know.
This is A, B, and C.
All right, so it looks like your fraction button looks like this. Okay. Now, unfortunately, my I don't have that. I got it, and mine doesn't look the same because mine will just look like a decimal. But you hit that button, and when you hit it in 7, and then you hit 10, it'll look like I think like this, right? That means 7/10. Okay, and then you hit minus 1/2, and then you hit 7. You hit this button, then you hit 10. Minus 1, you hit that button, then you hit 2. So you're telling you're putting in a fraction. Okay, so make sure that you can do that. Okay, and what does it spit out? Yep, and it looks like this. It looks like that. So what's 1/5? So that's where you get the 1/5 C minus 8 equals negative 16. Now, some of you know, which is absolutely awesome, that 1/2 is the same as 5/10. 7 minus 5 is 2/10, which reduces to 1/5. If you can do it that way, I'm awesome. But if you're not quite as comfortable, then you need to make sure that you can use your calculator effectively for fractions. All right, so right now on your calculator, what is 3/8 plus 7/5? What's that going to equal? Hold on, let everybody get a chance. 3/8 plus 7/5. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with Maddie on this one first.
1 and 31/40.
1 and 31/40. Okay, yep. So if you take a look at it, it says 1, and it has this little like U, and then it has 31/40, right? So this means it's a whole number. If you have, what if I have 4 and an 8 plus 3/7? How do you put in 4 and an 8? Here's what you do. You hit 4, you hit the ABC button. I think it'll give you that. You hit 1, you hit the ABC button again, and then you put in 8. Let's see what it looks like. Yep. And then you hit plus 3/7, so 3/7, and then hit equals. And then I got 4, and 55/56. All right, so that equals 4 and 55/56. Okay?
Didn't get the same.
You didn't get, did anybody else get that? Uh-oh, what'd you guys get? All right, redo it. What'd you get?
31/56 instead.
31/56.
Yes.
Okay. If you do 4 and 1/8 plus 3/7. Okay. All right. It should be 4 and 31/56. So just be careful on those. 23 through 25. You have to write it out and solve it. 8 plus the quotient. Quotient means division. So this needs to be 8 plus the quotient of a number in 3 should be x over 3 equals -2. If you have this, you do need to subtract the 8 first. I get x over 3 equals -10. And now once I get that, I multiply both sides by 3, and I get x equals -30 for that one. Okay. All right. Make sure your homework goes in your notebook. We're going to finish this up. I do have guided notes for you. Let me hand those out. All right, read through problem number 1 once you get the notes.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I get half of it if I turn in tomorrow? The homework tomorrow?
You're 2 lane homework. You can get full credit. But it's got to be turned in tomorrow. All right, we're gonna deal with some like word type problems here. Everything you've done in the last couple of days, we're just gonna apply in these situations. All right, Maggie earns $9.40 an hour working at the restaurant table 6. If her weekly paycheck is $211.50, how many hours did she work that week? All right, for all of these, you need to A, set up an equation, B, solve it. So what would you do to set this up? All right, so you take a look at that. What do you got out?
9.40x equals 211.50.
Okay, 9.40x equals $211.50. I would agree with that. Now you don't have to use x, you can use h for hours. That's fine. You don't need to change whatever you got. Now, what's the only thing I need to do, okay, to solve this one? You take a look at that. Zach?
Would you minus 9 point, okay? 9 point,
Am I adding these together or am I multiplying these together?
You're multiplying.
Multiplying. All right, there's too much talk going on back there. We need to be quiet and focus here. So multiplying, so what do you need to do?
Divide.
Divide. So you're going to divide by 940. So you can divide by 940, divide by 940. So that's all I have to do is that one step. Now what do I get when I divide by 940? So Ava?
22.5.
22.5. So that would be 22.5 hours. So 22 and a half hours to make the $211.50. Okay. Now for part B, Maggie also earns tips when she works at the restaurant 91. She gets an hourly wage and she gets tips. In 1 week at 91, she made $231.40. If she made $58 in tips and worked 17 hours, how much does she make per hour at 91? All right, take a second. Think about what an equation would look like with that. Okay, now we're not looking for the number of hours. We know that. We're looking for how much she makes an hour. Plus, you got to take into account the tips. Anybody think they have an idea what the equation should look like? Ava.
17x plus 58 equals 231.40.
All right, she says 17x. Now let me write it down first. Plus 58 equals 231.40. Whatever you make per hour, you got to multiply it by the number of hours you work. I agree with that. The $58 is extra. It's on top of that. So it should be plus 58. This is correct. 17x plus 58 equals 231.40. So you don't get $58 an hour for tips, so there's no variable attached to this. So now we're going to solve this like a two-step equation. We're going to subtract 58. And so you're going to get 17x equals, what do you get for 231? What did you get 231?
173.4.
What's that again?
173.4.
He says 173.4. So now take that and divide it by 17. Okay, for that. And then Alex, let me know what you get when you divide that.
Uh, 10.2.
10.2, we agree? So now 10.2. Now you got to make sure you answer the question. How much does she make per hour? Okay, so she makes 10.2 is $10.20. Okay, so don't say 10.2 hours. Make sure you put that as money. You always got to put it units. And you cannot assume that I know what you're talking about. You always have to make it clear. So if you just put 10.2, I might think you're talking about hours. So if you put dollars, I know for sure you got it correct. So that is per hour. All right. So this second example, or example 2 there. Use the table to find the number of miles you need to bike on Friday. So the mean number of miles biked per day is 5. Well, mean means what? Mean means average. How do you find the average of anything? You add them up and divide by that number. So we need to, and it doesn't list it, but we need to put down Friday. And we're going to put down X. So how many days total will this person have biked? Now, even though Wednesday's not in there, we're going to count that. So to find the average, you're going to add those up. You're going to take 3.5 plus 5.5 plus 0 plus 5 plus X. And what do we want to divide that by? If we're finding the average. Ava?
5.
You want to divide it by, the number that you're adding up. So you want to divide it by 5. And we want the average to be 5. So we want it to equal 5. Now, before I do anything here, go ahead and add your constants that you know. Say, add the 3.5, the 5.5, the 0, and the 5. What do those all equal? All right, when you add those together.
14.
14? So it's 14. So this becomes 14 plus X divided by 5 equals 5. Now, this was similar to one of the homeworks and one of the bell works here. You know what to do here. Okay, at this point. Rylan, do you know what to do?
Multiply 5 by 14 and the other 5.
Okay, you gotta be careful when you say multiply 5 by 14. You're gonna multiply both sides by 5. And when you do that, here's what happens. Those just cancel. So the left-hand side really just becomes 14 plus X. And 5 times 5 is 25. Now, last step is I got to subtract 14. And I get X equals 9. So for this one here, how many miles she need to bike on Friday? She needs to bike 9 miles. So 9 miles on Friday. Okay, 9 miles on Friday. All right, I want you to take a look at that and see if you can come up with an equation. If you think you're confident, write it down. If you're not confident, just come up with something mentally. While you're doing this, I'm going to hand you what is going to be the homework.
Thank you.
I'll get you the rest of this. All right, I want to at least get this set up. Maddie, any ideas?
No.
No. All right, what does perimeter mean? Anybody? Perimeter means distance what?
It's the distance around the outside.
Good, distance around the outside. So that means that how many sides do we have? 4 of them. So we got to add all of them up. And if this is y, that has to be y. And if that's 3/2, that has to be 3/2. So it's going to be 3/2 y plus 3/2 y plus y equals what they said the perimeter was? 150. All right, you're going to set that up. Now, we'll finish that, or I want to go ahead. If you can finish it, fine. If not, we'll finish tomorrow. But here's what I'm going to give you on this worksheet. You're going to do, hold on here. you're going to do 1 through 12. 1 through 12. All right, we're good here. I know the fellas getting ready to leave. You're not signed up for mine. I gotta double check that.
That's like right now, you drink the whole day, then.
Why would you want to- Let me get you.
They can't make it.
Is it 1 through 12 all or all?
It'll be
1
healthier.
through 12 all. Yeah, write the whole thing down. Everybody got a sheet?
I just might look back on the first day.
1 through 12. Emily, I give you one.
No.
Oh,
I'll do that. I will watch her in the garage. Never in my life. Oh my god.
no.